It's a beautiful spring day today, and what I wanted to show you today is my hack together electric scooter. And along with that, I'm also going to just show you a couple of different things that some of the viewers have asked me to show you guys. So it's going to be a bit of a scrappy video, but I want to tie up a few loose ends with this, and then we'll try and get back to regular content as soon as possible. Heading to Scotland in the 3rd week of May, I think, around that time. So prepare for some amazing shots and some cool camping. We're going to see, I think it's the Isle of Mull and Loch Lomond, which should be very cool. Basically, this was an old scooter frame that I managed to get from a friend of mine who was moving house and they didn't want it anymore. So I got that for free, stripped it all back and repainted the different sections. From that, not a huge lot has changed, apart from obviously the electronics. I ripped off all the old electronics and changed over the wheels, and when I bought this motor and like the speed control and everything like that, I got the pulleys and everything with it, and I mounted those to a wheelchair wheel. So it's like quite a soft sort of urethane style wheel, which means that it's on rough grounds on the road, it's not too bad. I really wanted to use the pneumatic wheels because they're they're inflatable tires. It would be a really smooth ride. I've got this big boy motor. I think it's about 3,000 watts, so it's really powerful for its size. And I've got two 6S lipos that are wired in series, which gives me 44 volts, 12S, and that's at 5,000 milliamps. And then this is the motor's connected to a VESC. I got this basically all from a company called DIY Electric Skateboard. It's quite expensive stuff, I'm not going to lie, but it is really cool, and I've always wanted to build something like this. And I always think if you're going to order some stuff, especially if it's going to come all the way from America, you might as well go all out, because it's just going to save you later down the line if you want more power out of your motor or you want like bigger setup. Just saves you having to invest again. But yeah, this is my little tacky wooden box that I built just to house it all, so I wouldn't stamp on the top of it. And then, unlike most longboards that use a wireless nunchuck controller, I really wanted a wired controller. So I got a really long bit of servo cable, and I found a mini Tupperware box, and I put a servo tester inside a Tupperware box, and I gave it this really derpy, stupid little wooden thing, and it's on a spring. So I've got a spring-loaded throttle stick. But what I'll do is I'll take this thing out on the road and I'll show you guys what it's like out on the road. Welcome back, guys. I wanted to talk about a couple of questions that you guys have asked me. Some things that you wanted to know how to do on the van, and one of those was from Jason, who wanted to know how to remove all of the trim in here so we could access stuff for the flooring and stuff like that. Another one was from Stevie, who wanted to know how bits of extra trim, like these side bits and the front bumpers, could be spray painted so that it's all colour coded to one colour. And I'm also going to cover a couple of other things that you guys have just checked up on, or that I haven't updated you guys on because I haven't been able to. So firstly, how to remove the trim. What you're going to need is maybe a little tiny electric drill, and you're also going to need a T25 hex point for that drill, hex bit for that drill. So first thing on our list is to remove the drinks holder. It's a lot easier with a flathead screwdriver, but you can pull it out yourself. And then you'll notice in there's one screw. Next you need to remove this sort of drinks holder bit. So there's a little lip here, and if you just pull it away and then pull sort of outwards like that, it pops off. You then got another screw just here. From this point, if you just grab the drinks holder part here at the top, pull away, this part then pulls out. Next, there's one screw underneath here, and if you pull away the drinks holder there, there's another screw down there. Then take a flathead and pull away this trim carefully, making sure to follow it around. Sometimes they will give away a lot easier, but sometimes you might need to get your flathead in just to make sure that you don't break the toggles off. Next, this little piece of grey plastic down here, you can reach underneath it and pull away at the bottom. Ow. That then gives you access to 2 further screws here and here. Next, underneath the driver's side, there's this plastic bit. This, yet again, pulls away. And then, there's a screw down here. And once that's all ready, this whole piece here will pull away, and then you can undo your gear knob here just by unscrewing it simply. Take that completely off and it will slide over the top, and then you've taken away that whole part of the trim. This bottom part is pretty easy. As you can see, I've already started, but there's 1, 2, and then you need to pull away these little caps here, 3, and then on the other side there's a 4th. So you just, with a flathead, pry off the little caps and unscrew those ones, and then that piece does come out. I can't take that out right now because it means I'd have to take out a bit of the flooring as well, so I just don't want to do that. But from this point, it's pretty simple to remove all this plastic as well. You do the same thing as like the start. Remove the cup holder, screw in there, then start pulling bits away. Just follow the screws around the edge here. I hope this was useful, but now I need to put all this back in the van, so good luck with your trim removal. On to colour coding the bumpers, and I think there are 3 options that you can go by. The first one is the one that I'd recommend above all the others massively, and that is to just simply go out and buy the part pre-painted, ready and done. And my reasoning behind this is, I know you guys love DIY and everything, and I love DIY as well, but this sort of level of work is really, really hard to achieve a good finish with. So, that wasn't very good English, I know, but basically what I'm trying to say is you can spray paint it all you like, but it might not come out the way that you desired, and it might not look very nice if this paint looks really good and this paint looks, you know, like a bit awry. Spend the money, get the parts, enjoy it, and not have to worry about the consequences later. The other 2 options are, if you look at the plastic, it's textured. Now this is going to be the main issue that you come across when you're trying to spray paint this. Now if you are determined to spray paint it yourself and do this all yourself, so the first option is to obviously sand it, make all the parts nice and smooth, and then use a plastic primer and then a top coat of the same white or colour that your van is going to be, and very carefully just spray paint them all till you've got your part done. If you don't like the idea of doing all that sanding, your other option, and probably the easy one out of the 2, is to use a high build primer made for plastics and everything. And what that does is it's basically very thick paint used to usually cover up imperfections like holes or scratches, and spray your whole part, spray the whole bumper with this and let it dry, and that should then in theory get rid of the whole textured level, which will mean that spray painting will be so much better. So after that's all dried, you then obviously just spray paint it to the same colour of your van, and I mean that's really it. But obviously remember guys that if you are going to spray paint, choose a really good location to spray paint, preferably indoors with good ventilation, because to get a good even coat and layer and everything is really tricky to do unless you have the professional setup and the like sort of the spray guns that you all use in actual painting area, like painting places. And this is why I reiterate that I would just advise spending the money and getting a pre-color coded bumper and just fitting it yourself. Another little thing that came in the post the other day was my new updated V5 document, which means that I'm now registered as a motor caravan. So I've already been online to check, and my insurance has already gone down by around £100, which is awesome news. What I did read wrong before was that it gives me cheaper tax. Now apparently if I have a step up the sort of the size of van larger, which is between, what was it, 3,000 and 3,500 kg, then my tax might have actually gone down from about 220 to 160, but annoyingly because I've got a smaller van, I think mine just stays at 220, which is a bit annoying, but I'm saving money with my insurance, and it's something I legally have to do anyway if I live in the UK. So I had a thought the other night, just before I fell asleep, and that is to modify the bed again. So what I want to do is adjust this bit so the back part here is moved inwards and the slats of the sliding out part go across here, and there's like a little slimline box no wider than the wheel arch. And what I'll do with that is I'll slide all my bedding in there, because if the bedding is squished in there, it means that it will take up less room overall because you're squishing out all the air from it, but also it means that all the under storage here will be able to be used again for more useful stuff. Can you see it there? It's taking up so much space. Guys, really sorry for the super haphazard video. I just wanted to tie up a few loose ends and answer a few of your questions. If you have any more questions or anything, leave it in the comments below, and please subscribe. I will hopefully see you guys soon, and it might be a couple of weeks because I've got a few things to tie up. So see you guys very soon.